Shalom. First and foremost, I would like to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahushua, Bahashem Rakakodash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who do real well and teach this truth in all honesty and sincerity. Salutating to you brothers around the four corners of the earth that push this truth with all honesty and sincerity to wake up the hopeful elect of Israel. Shalom to the Akim that come looking like the heathen, but you own the fact of the stock of Israel, and you hold near into this truth and follow the laws, statutes, commandments to the best of your abilities, wherever you may be scattered. And shalom to the few sincere Akwatim that listen and learn in silence, playing your creation role as the Lord commanded you to, which is in all subjection, reverencing your husbands. This your brother Azor from GMS St. Louis, and came across this video, and it's amazing how Jake they do what's wrong, or they do what's right thinking it's wrong, and the thing they do, like they do right under the guise of thinking that it's wrong. And in all actuality, what sometimes it is right is actually right. Like this young woman in the video, they think that this is a backdoor move, but in all reality, it's a righteous next of kin marriage law, which is mentioned in the scriptures. I'm gonna play this video, and I'm going to grab some precepts, and you'll see exactly what I mean. I remember first coming into the truth. I was telling my mom that a list of things that were not wrong, but our people think that it's wrong because we've been told everything by our oppressors. And her response was, well, did you know it was right when you was doing it? It doesn't matter if I knew it was right or not, but the fact of it is that I was operating this way, and it ended up being right. So what does that say? But our people will try to still make it as if things are wrong because of how they feel. But the Heavenly Father knows best, man. He gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to guide ourselves, man.
Single, technically.
I don't think I can. My baby daddy's gonna get mad.
Wait, you got a kid?
What?
But like, your baby daddy ain't in your life.
He's gone. He's deceased.
Damn. What he gonna do? Haunt me? No disrespect. I'm just saying, like, so you guys are both single, technically.
You wanna know something crazy?
Uh-huh.
I'm talking to my baby daddy's brother. I did not know.
Oh, nah.
Because, it's their same blood, right? So it's technically, like, I feel more comfortable with him helping me out.
How you think the brother feel right now?
I'm not with him. We're just kind of trying to figure out what we're gonna do. Because he didn't die like that long ago. It's been like a month since.
That's even worse! What
no!
the fuck? Bro, you're fucking your deceased baby daddy's brother.
Dead, girl. Blood.
How you think he feel? He like, damn, she really doing me bad.
We're talking about it. We're finna see what we're finna do about it and how it's gonna work. I don't know who's gonna move in who. Like, no, nothing is set.
Move in? You talking about move in? Oh, hell no. And he just that nigga just turned off the electricity. He watching. He watching right now.
No, we have to get off. No, we have to get off.
Stop before it's too late. I promise you that shit real. He watching. You think I'm bullshitting?
No, I actually want to get off. No, I actually want to get off now. It's
Fun
your
fact.
fucking fault because you fucking brought it up like that. You made it seem like it was
you're the
fucking
one
like
who
that.
did it. You're the one who did it, not me. He loves you,
Yes.
and you getting dicked down by his brother. You bitches are trifling.
I don't think I can. My baby daddy's gonna get mad.
See?
Wait, you got a kid?
What?
But like your baby daddy ain't in your life.
He's
She's,
gone. He's deceased.
you know,
She's what he gonna
she's
do?
going
Hug him?
about it the right way, and I believe
No
it is
disrespect. I'm just saying, like, so you guys are both
a
single.
month for her
You wanna know something crazy?
grievance after her husband passed. You know,
I'm talking to my baby daddy's brother.
it's a period of grievance, and I believe it is a month.
Because I mean, it's their same blood, right? So
or there could be
like, I feel more
if you
comfortable
take
with
a
him
spoil
helping
of
me
war.
out.
How you think the
whatever.
brother feel right
But
now?
I'm not with him. We're just
She
kind of trying to
she
figure out what we're gonna do. 'Cause
she's
he didn't die
operating
that long ago. It's
in
been
the
like
law.
months since he
That's even worse.
But what do they say?
No.
You want to know
Bro,
something
you're
crazy?
fucking.
It's
your
not
deceased
crazy.
baby
That's
daddy's
how it's
brother.
supposed to go.
Dead girl.
You know, you're supposed to go to your husband's next of
How you
kin if
think
he
he
passes.
feel? He like, damn, she really doing me bad.
That's in the law. And this guy hyping it up like, oh, you ain't shit, you ain't this, and you ain't. He
Move in.
not
You
knowing the
talking about
scriptures,
move
man.
in? Oh hell no! And he just turned. That nigga just turned on the electricity.
He's watching
He
you.
watching. He watching right now.
That man is at rest, man.
No, we have to get off.
Stop
That man
before
is
it's
at
too late.
rest,
I
and he
promise you that
knows the
shit real.
truth.
He watching. You think I'm bullshitting?
So
No, I actually want to get off. No, I'm actually
trust
want to
me,
get off now.
he's at rest, man. He ain't
You fucking brought
worried
it up like
about
that. You made
what,
it seem like
what
it was
You're the one
like
who
this
did it.
guy's
You're the one who
trying
did it,
to
not me.
make
He
it
loves
seem
you,
like
and you getting
she's
dicked down by his
trifling and
brother.
wrong and
You bitches are trifling.
like she said,
I don't
she
think I
feels
can.
more
My baby daddy's gonna get
comfortable.
mad.
Wait, you got a kid?
You know, they the same
like,
blood.
Your baby daddy ain't in your life.
They the same
God.
bloodline. She's operating in the scriptures, and
What he
she
gonna do,
does
hug
not
him?
even know. You know, or
No disrespect. I'm just saying, like, so you guys are
she
both
doesn't
single,
know that
technically.
is in the
You
law.
wanna know something crazy?
You know, but she's operating in that way, thinking that it's some backdoor activity or it's wrong or
Oh nah.
just bogus. But that's
right? So
exactly
like,
what's
I feel
supposed
more
to happen.
comfortable with him helping me out.
How you think the brother feel right now?
I'm not with him. We're
Now,
just kind of trying to figure out what we're gonna do because he didn't die like that long ago. It's been like a month since.
That's even worse.
No.
Let me go. Let me go to the book of Deuteronomy. Matter of fact, I'll start at Romans. This is Romans 2, and I'll start at verse. I'm gonna jump the gun a little bit and go to the interlinear, and we're gonna get this word Gentile, just so you know that it's not talking about a heathen. You see that word of the Gentile? It says Helen. Now, Helen refers to Jews or Israelites that made another custom their custom. Like they take on the custom of the Greeks, or they take on the custom of the Romans, or they take on a custom that's not of their custom. Just like a lot of our people were forced into adopting Greek customs, and even like here in America, we were forced to adopt another language. We were forced to adopt a different culture. Now, black culture is what you see instead of Israelite cultures or culture. So that word of the Gentile is speaking of Helen in this sense, just so we don't get misunderstood. Okay, so we're gonna go to Romans 2, and let's start at verse 7. I started verse 8, Salakia. But unto them that are contentious and do not obey the truth, but obey unrighteousness, indignation and wrath, tribulation and anguish upon every soul of man that doeth evil, of the Jew first, and also of the Gentiles. Talking about the Israelites that left the customs that Yahweh gave unto us as Israelites and adopted a heathenistic custom. But glory, honor, and peace to every man that worketh good, to the Jew first, and also to the Gentile. For there is no respecter, no respect of persons with Yahweh. For as many as have sinned without law shall also perish without law. And as many as have sinned in the law shall be judged by the law. For not the hearers of the law are just before Yahweh, but the doers of the law shall be justified. For when the Gentiles, which have not the law, do by nature the things contained in the law, these having not the law are a law unto themselves, which show the work of the law written in their hearts, their conscience also bearing witness, and their thoughts the meanwhile accusing or else excusing one another. You see, so a lot of times we do things that are in the law, but we don't know because it's a part of us, man. Certain things are just written in us, man. Just like this young lady didn't know that she's obeying the law. But in this society, they'll have you thinking that that's backdoor or that's bogus or that's wrong. You see? So now that we got that, let's go to the book of Deuteronomy 25. And I'll start at verse 5. If brethren dwell together and one of them die and have no child, the wife of the dead shall not marry without unto a stranger. Her husband's brother shall go in unto her and take her to him to wife, and perform the duty of an husband's brother unto her. And it shall be that the firstborn which she beareth shall succeed in the name of his brother which is dead, that his name be not put out of Israel. And if the man like not uh to take his brother's wife, then let his brother's wife go up to the gate unto the elders and say, my husband's brother refuseth to raise up unto his brother a name in Israel. He will not perform the duty of my brother, of my husband's brother. Then the elders of his city shall call him and speak unto him, and if he stand to it and say, I like not to take her, then shall his brother's wife come unto him in the presence of the elders and loose his shoe from off his foot and spit in his face and shall answer and say, so shall it be done unto that man that will not build up his brother's house, and his name shall be called in Israel the house of him that hath his shoe loosed. So you would have a shame on your name, man, and your reputation. You see, it's not about backdooring. It's about, like the woman said, she feel comfortable. She know the family, and the brother's dead, man. It was not a custom for our woman to go and go find a stranger you know nothing about. You don't know what type of person this is. Um, And really quick, I'll show you that the Old Testament and New Testament say the same thing pretty much. They're both in agreements. This is Matthew 22, and uh, start at 23. The same day came to him the Sadducees, which say that there is no resurrection, and asked him, saying, Master, Moses said, if a man die having no children, his brother shall marry his wife and raise up seed unto his brother. Now there were with us 7 brethren, and the first, when he had married a wife, deceased, and having no issue, left his wife unto his brother. Likewise the second also, and the third unto the seventh. And last of all, the woman died. But you get the point that the New Testament shows that it's repeating the Old Testament. The New Testament didn't come and just wipe the law out and do away with the Old Testament, man. Let's go to the beginning, Genesis chapter 38. Um, I remember telling my uncle this story, and he got so afraid, like he got he got so afraid, and gave him a new outlook on the scriptures, man, and just how the Lord don't play. So this is Genesis 38, and I'll start at verse 1. And it came to pass at that time that Judah went down. This is the father of the so-called Negroes, went down from his brethren, and turned into a certain Adulamite whose name was Hirah. And Judah saw there a daughter of a certain Canaanite whose name was Shua, and took her and went in unto her. I'll read this in the NLT. There he saw a Canaanite woman, the daughter of Shua, and he married her. When he slept with her, she became pregnant and gave birth to a son, and he named the boy Then she became pregnant again and gave birth to another son, and she named him Onan. And when she gave birth to a third son, she named him Shelah. At the time of Shelah's birth, they were living at Kezib, or Chezib. In the course of time, Judah arranged for his firstborn son to marry a young woman named Tamar. But was wicked, Salakia, but was a wicked man in the Lord's sight. So the Lord took his life. Then Judah said to brother Onan, Go and marry Tamar, as our law requires of the brother of a man who has died. You must produce an heir for your brother. But Onan was not willing to have a child who would not be his own heir. So whenever he had intercourse with his brother's wife, he spilled the semen on the ground. This prevented her from having a child who would belong to his brother. But the Lord considered it evil for Onan to deny a child to his dead brother. So the Lord took Onan's life too. You see? This is a part of our law, man. This is a part of our customs, man. How the Lord gave us in those laws, statutes, and commandments to govern ourselves, man. And this would ensure that this woman would not be just out in the streets to fend for herself. You know, think something like this happened before, man. Years ago, when I first came into the truth, my brother got locked up for half a decade, and he told me, he said, man, just take care of my, my woman and my daughter, man. And I did. We didn't, I didn't we didn't do anything, but I was there to look out, to help out, you know what I'm saying? Just, get things for his daughter and stuff like that nature. Which I, was supposed to. It serves its purpose, man. It ensures that the woman and child, or the woman, if there is no children, would not be out in the streets, man, subject to just anybody doing them any kind of way. It's a responsibility, and Onan didn't want that responsibility, so the Lord killed his ass, man. So this is not a thing of backdoor behavior. It's a responsibility and a custom, of our people that was given to us by the Heavenly Father. Again, Ruth is another example of this custom, and I'll jump around just to get the point. This is the book of Ruth, chapter 1. Now it came to pass in the days when the judges ruled that there was a famine in the land, and a certain man of Bethlehem, Judah, went to sojourn in the country of Moab, he and his wife and his two sons. And the name of the man was Elimelech, and the name of his wife Naomi, and the name of his two sons Mahlon and Chilion, Ephrathites of Bethlehem, Judah. And they came into the country of Moab and continued there. And Elimelech, Naomi's husband, died, and she was left and her two sons. And they took them wives of the women of Moab. The name of the one was Orpah, I almost said Oprah, and the name of the other Ruth. And they dwelled there about 10 years. And Mahlon and Chilion died also, both of them. And the woman was left of her two sons and her husband. Then she arose with her daughters in law, that she might return from the country of Moab, for she had heard in the country of Moab how that the Lord had visited his people and given them bread. Wherefore she went forth out of the place where she was, and her two daughters in law with her, and they went on the way to return unto the land of Judah. And Naomi said unto her two daughters in law, Go return each to her mother's house. The Lord deal kindly with you as ye have dealt with the dead and with me. The Lord grant you that ye may find rest, each of you, in the house of her husband. Then she kissed them, and they lifted up their voice and wept. And they said unto her, Surely we will return with thee unto thy people. And Naomi said, Turn again, my daughters. Why will ye go with me? Are there yet any more sons in my womb, that they may be your husbands? So see, they know about the next of kin law, man. The next of kin marriage law. Turn again, my daughters, go your way, for I am too old to have any husband. If I should say I have hope, if I should have an husband also tonight, and should also bear sons, would ye tarry for them till they were grown? Would ye stay for them from having husbands? Nay, my daughters, for it grieveth me much for your sakes that the hand of the Lord is gone out against me. So she telling them to go on, you know. And they lift up their voice and wept again, and Orpah kissed her mother-in-law, but Ruth clave unto her, and she said, Behold, thy sister-in-law is gone back unto her people and unto her gods. Return thou after thy sister-in-law. And Ruth said, Entreat me not to leave thee, or to return from following after thee. For whither thou goest, I will go, and where thou lodgest, I will lodge. Thy people shall be my people, and thy power, or thy God, my God. So Ruth was like, nah, I like these customs and these people, like, nah. So let's go to chapter 2 and verse 1. And Naomi had a kinsman of her husband, a mighty man of wealth, of the family of Elimelech, and his name was Boaz. And Ruth the Moabite said unto Naomi, let me now go to the field and glean ears of corn after him, in whose sight I shall find grace. And she said unto her, go, my daughter. And you hear a lot of women talking about, I'm trying to find my Boaz and this and that. Boaz was a next of kin unto their husbands. But that's nasty. That's bogus, and that's betrayal, and that's you are not knowing the scriptures, man. Um, Let me jump down. Okay, so she's in the field. Then verse 5, then said Boaz unto his servant that was set over the reapers, whose damsel was this? And the servant that was set over the reapers answered and said, it is the Moabitish damsel that came back with Naomi out of the country of Moab. And she said, I pray you, let me glean and gather after the reapers among the sheaves. So she came and hath continued, even from the morning until now, that she tarried a little in the house. And Moab is the so-called Chinese man, the progenitor of the Chinese race, or the Moabites. Okay, jump down to verse 10. Then she fell on her face and bowed herself to the ground and said unto him, why have I found grace in thine eyes, that thou shouldest take knowledge of me, seeing I am a stranger? And Boaz answered and said unto her, it hath fully been showed me all that thou hast done unto thy mother-in-law since the death of thine husband, and how thou hast left thy father and thy mother in the land of thy nativity, and art come unto a people which thou knewest not heretofore. The Lord recompense thy work, and a full reward be given thee of the Lord Yahweh of Israel, under whose wings thou art come to trust. Then she said, let me find favor in thy sight, my Lord, for that thou hast comforted me, and for that thou hast spoken friendly unto thine handmaid, though I be not like unto one of thine handmaids. And Boaz said unto her, at mealtime come thither, and eat of the bread, and dip thy morsel in the vinegar. And she sat beside the reapers, and he reached her parched corn, and she did eat, and was sufficed, and left. You see, so she thinking that Boaz is going to be, the next of kin to her husband. So she's getting acquainted and trying to find favor in his sight. This is chapter 3, verse 1. Then Naomi, her mother in law, said unto her, my daughter, shall I not seek rest for thee, that it may be well with thee? And now is not Boaz of our kindred, with whose maidens thou wast? Behold, he winnoweth barley tonight in the threshing floor. Wash thyself therefore, and anoint thee, and put thy raiment upon thee, and get thee down to the floor, but make not thyself known unto the man, until he shall have done eating and drinking. And it shall be, when he lieth down, that thou shalt mark the place where he shall lie, and thou shalt go in. And thou shalt go in and uncover his feet, and lay thee down, and he will tell thee what thou shalt do. And she said unto her, All that thou sayest unto me I will do. And she went down unto the floor and did according to all that her mother in law bade her. And when Boaz had eaten and drunk, and his heart was merry, he went to lie down at the end of the heap of corn. And she came softly and uncovered his feet and laid her down. And it came to pass at midnight that the man was afraid and turned himself, and behold, a woman lay at his feet. And he said, Who art thou? And she answered, I am Ruth, thy handmaid. Spread therefore thy skirt over thy handmaid, for thou art a near kinsman. You see? And he said, Blessed be thou of the Lord, my daughter, for thou hast showed more kindness in the latter end than at the beginning, inasmuch as thou followest not young men, whether poor or rich. Let me jump over to the NLT. Verse 10, The Lord bless you, my daughter, Boaz exclaimed. You are showing even more family loyalty now than you did before, for you have not gone after a younger man, whether rich or poor. Now don't worry about a thing, my daughter. I will do what is necessary, for everyone in town knows you are a virtuous woman. But while it's true that I am one of your family redeemers, there is another man who is more closely related to you than I am. Stay here tonight, and in the morning I will talk to him. If he is willing to redeem you, very well, let him marry you. But if he is not willing, then as surely as the Lord lives, I will redeem you myself. Now lie down here until the morning. So Ruth lay at Boaz's feet until the morning, but she got up before it was light enough for people to recognize each other. For Boaz had said, No one must know that a woman was here at the threshing floor. Then Boaz said to her, Bring your cloak and spread it out. He measured 6 scoops of barley into the cloak and placed it on her back. Then he returned to the town. Okay, so Boaz is showing integrity, and he's saying it's one closer than I am. So he's gonna. Matter of fact, just let me get to chapter 4, in verse 1. Then went Boaz to the town gate and took a seat there. Just then the family redeemer he had mentioned came by. So Boaz called out to him, Come over here and sit down, friend. I want to talk to you. So they sat down together. Then Boaz called 10 leaders from the town and asked them to sit as witnesses. And Boaz said to the family redeemer, You know Naomi, who came back from Moab. She is selling the land that belonged to our relative Elimelech. I thought I should speak to you about it so that you can redeem it if you wish. If you want the land, then buy it here in the presence of these witnesses. But if you don't want it, let me know right away because I am next in line to redeem it after you. The man replied, All right, I'll redeem it. Then Boaz told him, Of course, your purchase of the land from Naomi also requires that you marry Ruth, the Moabite widow. That way she can have children who will carry on her husband's name and keep the land in the family. Then I can't redeem it, the family redeemer replied, because this might endanger my own estate. You redeem the land, I cannot do it. Now, in those days, it was the custom in Israel for anyone transferring a right of purchase to remove his sandal and hand it to the other party. This publicly validated the transaction. So the other family redeemer drew off his sandal as he said to Boaz, You buy the land. Then Boaz said to the elders and to the crowd standing around, You are witnesses that today I have bought from Naomi all the property of Elimelech, Kilion, and Mahlon. And with the land I have required Ruth, the Moabite widow of Mahlon, to be my wife. This way she can have a son to carry on the family name of her dead husband and to inherit the family property. Here in his hometown, you are all witnesses today. Then the elders And all the people standing in the gate replied, "We are witnesses. May the Lord make this woman who is coming into your home like Rachel and Leah, from whom all the nation of Israel descended." So those were the two women. Actually, it was four women, Rachel and Leah, and each of them had a handmaiden who Jacob popped, laid down with, and had 12 sons and a daughter. So for all you people who have it misunderstood about polygamy being wrong, a man having multiple wives wrong, a woman going to the next of kin if her husband dies. Now you see that it's in the law, man, and you see that they reverence Rachel and Leah, for conceiving the patriarchs of Israel. That was a high regard in those times. Now, you shit. Women will destroy your child. They will kill. They will unalive them. Go to those clinics like it's nothing. But actually, being a mother and a wife was a great deal for the women, especially of our nation, man. The nation of the Israelites. May you prosper in Ephrathah and be famous in Bethlehem. And may the Lord give you descendants by this young woman who will be like those of our ancestor Perez, the son of Tamar and Judah. Because a story I read about Judah's sons owning an well, he ended up, Tamar ended up beguiling him, and she played the harlot, but really, um, Judah was his last son, his other son was supposed to be Tamar was supposed to be giving him, but it didn't go that way. So she dressed up as a harlot and got Judah's seed, man. So women back then they was they wanted seed, man. They wanted to have children, man. They wanted to belong to a man. Verse 13. So Boaz took Ruth into his home, and she became his wife when he slept with her. So again, there you have marriage. Sex equals marriage, man. Nowhere did it say they signed some paperwork. Nowhere did it say that, they went before a judge and I now no, he popped her and made her his wife, man. When he slept with her, the Lord enabled her to become pregnant, and she gave birth to a son. Then the women of the town said to Naomi, "Praise the Lord who has now provided a redeemer for your family. May this child be famous in Israel. May he restore your youth and care for you in your old age, for he is the son of your daughter in law who loves you and has been better to you than 7 sons." Naomi took the baby and cuddled him into her breast, and she cared for him as if he were her own. The neighbor women said, "Now at last Naomi has a son again," and they named him Obed. He became the father of Jesse and the grandfather of David. And David is the king of Israel, man. You know, David is high. King David is highly respected and nigh unto the Lord, man. That he is our king forever, underneath our Lord Yahweh Shai, who is underneath Yahweh, of course. And it goes into giving you the genealogy um of Perez up until King David. This is the genealogical record of their ancestor Perez, Perez was the father of Hezron. Hezron was the father of Ram. Ram was the father of Aminadab. Aminadab was the father of Nahshon. Nahshon was the father of Salmon. Salmon was the father of Boaz. Boaz, the father of Obed. Obed was the father of Jesse. Jesse was the father of King David, man. So, um, I hope this been an edifying lesson, and you understand and you see that some of the things that we do are in the law. And the Heavenly Father gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to govern ourselves, so we be at the at the top, you know, and the rest of the world see how we govern ourselves and model themselves after it. Matter of fact, I got one more, because these other nations know that our laws, statutes, and commandments is what separate us from them and make us better, and to the point where they had, like, just like if you grow a beard now, they'll say, oh, you Muslim, or you trying to be an Arab. We had beards, man. It was a law, man. Men have to have beards. It's in the law. You you couldn't come in to Israel with a shaved face. King David wasn't having that. um this is Deuteronomy 4, and I'll start at verse 5. Look, I now teach you these decrees and regulations, just as the Lord my power commanded me. This is Moses talking to the Israelites, so that you may obey them in the land you are about to enter and occupy. Obey them completely, and you will display your wisdom and intelligence among the surrounding nations. When they hear all these decrees, they will exclaim, how wise and prudent are the people of this great nation. For what great nation has a power as near to them as the Lord our power is near to us whenever we call on him? And what great nation has decrees and regulations as righteous and fair as this body of instructions that I am giving you today? But watch out. Be careful never to forget what you yourself have seen. Do not let these memories escape from your mind as long as you live, and be sure to pass them on to your children and grandchildren. You see? So, and you see that our nation, from the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, have forgotten this, man. And they keep the laws brokenly, here and there. But they don't know all the laws. They don't know all the laws. But hope this has been an edifying lesson. I'm gonna say Kwam Yasharala, Shalom, and Abba Ball.